You are listening to the Speech Space Podcast, a podcast full of tips and resources for SLPs. I'm your host, Jessica Cassidy, and this is episode 15. Hey everybody, Jessica here, and thank you for joining me on episode 15 of the Speech Space Podcast. Today we are going to be talking about using books in mixed groups. So ideally, in a perfect world, we would all love to see many of our students one-on-one, but we know that in reality, that just often isn't the case. So I'm going to talk about some ways that you can use books within your group to target multiple goals. So the first goal that you can work on using a book is articulation. So before your session, what you would want to do is go through and mark all the pictures in the book that contain your student's target speech sound. And, when you're going through the book with the group, you're able to have a little visual cue there and have your student either say or read the word. Obviously, you do pictures for the younger students, and then you could flag all the words for your older students. And as you go through the book with the whole group, you're going to let your students say or read the word for lots of practice. And if you're short on time, what you could actually do is have your student go through the book at the beginning of the session, and you can have them pick out all the words or pictures with their target speech sound. Okay, so the next thing that you can work on using books in your groups is language skills. So for those working on story retelling, you simply would just have them retell the story to the group after you're done reading it. For those working on WH questions, you could ask them some WH questions as you're going through the story. Of course, you can also ask them at the end as well. And for those working on vocabulary, you can make some flashcards of some vocabulary words that are mentioned in the story. Now, that involves a little bit of prep work. You'd have to do that before, or you could simply do it as you're going through the book. And if you see that your student doesn't know a certain word, you can have them write down the definition on the back and, the word on the other side, and you can talk about it and go through it. And you can also send those home for homework. For those working on sequencing, you can talk about what happened first, next, and last in the story. And bonus points if they can draw out 3 scenes to organize while you're working with another student. So maybe before you have them explain first, next, and last, you could have them drawing on a graphic organizer, what they recalled as the first, middle, and end, or first, next, last part of the story. All right, so the next skill that you can work on is social skills. So you obviously are going to want to choose a book that has a good lesson that would benefit your students working on social skills. And, you're going to stop throughout that story, and you're going to talk about how the characters in the story are feeling, what they're doing, maybe what's going to happen next. And you can discuss conflict resolution and alternative actions as they're appropriate. And the good thing about this is that even though it's a story that might, be targeting social skills, a lot of these books that do that they're really great stories. So it's not like you can only work on social skills, or only your students with social skills needs are going to benefit or be interested in this story. Now, the next thing that you can work on with your books in mixed groups is stuttering. So you can have your students use their fluency strategies as they read a page of the book. You can have them read that in front of the group, or you can kind of do that off to the side if that works better for you or for them. You also can have them retell the story and work on using their strategies. It's a really good opportunity to work on the fluency fear hierarchy if speaking in front of peers is a difficult situation for your student. So if that's something that they're trying to work on, then it's actually a really great way to do it. And lastly, books are great reinforcers. So you can choose books that have visual, built-in reinforcers. There are tons of lift the flap books. There's lots of books with different textures. Books can be very reinforcing. They don't have to be crazy or extra special. There's a really cute book. It's an Usborne book, and it's called All Better. And it's really neat because it has removable Band-Aid stickers on it. I really like to use that one. It has a picture of an animal on every page that gets hurt, and then you put the little Band-Aids on the friends throughout the book. And another one I really like, also an Usborne book, is called The Busy Train Book. And it's a wind-up book, and you can wind up the train and it moves all around the pages. It kind of zooms in and out around the track, and it's a huge hit with the kids. So those are two books that I really like. Of course, like I said, there's tons out there. There's many, many, many that you could get. Keep your eyes peeled. TJ Maxx generally has some good deals on some nice books. And I will leave the links to the books that I mentioned here today. And I would love to hear any books that you guys really like to use in speech therapy as reinforcers. I'm always open to learning about new things. And that's going to be it for me today. I want to give you guys a heads up. The digital SLP site is so close to launching. I keep hoping that it's going to happen, and it keeps getting pushed back a little by little because I just want it to be just right for you guys whenever it does launch. So I am so close. It's probably going to be another probably 2 weeks. So I think I actually am going to take a break next week. So next Tuesday, there will not be a podcast to listen to, but I will be back the following Tuesday. And hopefully I will have good news that the site is up and running. If you'd like to jump on the wait list for the digital SLP site, you can go to thespeechspace.com/digital SLP. And there's actually a couple buttons on there that you can click on to sign up for the waiting list to get 50% off of the price of the membership. And if you are listening to this late, then when you go to that site, you will see buttons to join the membership. So depending on when you hear this episode, it will depend on what you see when you go to that page. So I'm really excited about it. There's going to be a lot of no prints on there, lots of my freebies. There's a freebies folder that you have access to. I also will have my printables on there. And coming in 2018, we're going to add some educational resources that you can use for continuing maintenance hours, or certification maintenance hours, rather. And so I'm really, really pumped up about it. I hope you guys are excited about it too. And, just read through everything there. If you're interested on that, thespeechspace.com/digital SLP, on that page, it tells you all about it. It uses a credit-based system to keep the cost a bit lower. And it's kind of like going on a shopping spree every month. So your account gets a certain number of credits each month, and you use those credits to buy the materials that are relevant to your caseload at the time. And then each month you continue to get new credits, and you can continue to get new materials. And it's a nice, fun way to do that. So please let me know if you have any questions about that. My email is jessica@thespeechspace.com. I always love hearing from you guys. And have a great week. And I will see you back here in about 2 weeks.